Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome back to the podcast. You are with Kilee Nichols, and today I have everybody's favorite guest back. Soren is back and joining me. If you haven't tuned in to my Instagram when he's taken over or been on some of our Facebook Lives in our Facebook group, Soren is the most sought after guest because he tells all. But he also has been on the podcast quite a few times, and I think today will be fun. So welcome back.
Thanks. On the last Facebook Live, I joked to myself coming into it, hey, so did I have more people following the Facebook Live than you? I was just joking.
And you totally did.
But it turned out it was true.
Yeah, more people tune in for Soren than me.
She's not making this up.
So today we are coming closer to Valentine's Day, and since we're married and we own a business together and we've done lots of things about working together and stuff, I thought it'd be fun to just do an episode where we ask each other questions and get to know each other better, and the audience can get to know us better too. And then maybe a few gold nuggets will come out of it in advice or just in how we think about things. So I
sounds a lot better.
Prepared some questions, and I guess I'll let Soren choose them. I'm comfortable with answering all of them. And then you answer, and let's both answer each question. Welcome to the podcast with Kilee Nichols. I made the unlikely transition from stay-at-home mom to CEO of a multi-million-dollar leading fashion brand. At Nickel & Suede, we empower the everyday woman to step into her story more boldly, one life-changing accessory at a time. The goal of this podcast is to inspire you through both my story and the stories of other powerhouse women to take that first step towards living the best version of your life. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, and get ready to get started with Kilee Nichols.
So a few minutes ago, I tried to not look at the list and then just put pen dots, and I picked 5 or 6 pen dots, and she didn't want to play that game. So I was hoping there were some juicy questions on there, but it sounds like they're all pretty safe.
They're super boring, so you can just turn this off now. Just kidding. They're really good. Okay. I don't care how you want to ask a question. You want to go with your pen dots? Fine.
You were going to go with the whole list? There's
17
questions.
We have to narrow this down. We don't have 4 hours.
Okay. So, question number 6.
It's number 1, today's first question.
If you could pick 1 year of your life to do over, which would it be and why?
Oh, that is such a downer first question. Oh, what life would I want to do over?
What year? The year you met me.
No. I'm thinking... Okay, if we're talking about redo it entirely, then I would probably pick the year we moved to Seattle. So 2008. If I could redo it. I would not want to relive it, but I would redo it and maybe approach it differently, knowing what I know now and stuff. It was a really, really difficult time of life to move to Seattle. That was right after college. We moved away from family. You started a really hard job. I was pregnant and depressed and bored. It was just so many factors that made it a really hard year. So I would redo that for sure. How about you?
Answer.
What year would you redo?
I've always regretted that I don't remember if I was 12 or 13. When I was 12, we won the state championship up in Reno, Nevada.
For baseball.
Little League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But for 13, I think we went back, and I think the whole team thinks it's my fault that we didn't win. I don't remember.
That's awful.
I just remember being a huge disappointment to everybody, and I don't remember why.
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm sure it was my fault.
Redo that.
But I just
redo
blocked
that
it
play.
out.
Yeah. Tough.
And there might have been more years. If any of my previous baseball teammates are listening, there might have been multiple years.
I think that's unlikely, but Okay. What's the next question?
Oh.
You can keep asking.
Question number 10. What would your perfect day look like?
Oh gosh, this one's really hard too. My perfect day. There's so many different ways to have a perfect day. Probably.
I can help you. It ends with Golden Grams and milk and Oreos.
Probably traveling somewhere, going somewhere new, like maybe getting on a plane to even Dallas would be fun. That's where we have a store. Day? Yeah, wake up, get on a plane, go.
Kids are all still asleep.
We have
Dogs
a babysitter.
Stay away from us.
A babysitter that they love. You and I go to Dallas. We eat at a couple of fun restaurants, do some shopping, check in on the store. Everything's going great. I think just like a fun get out of town, even just one day would be fun.
Velvet Taco.
Delicious. Great restaurant in Dallas. So what would your perfect day look like?
Oh, I should have been thinking about this while you were answering. I was enjoying your perfect day. A perfect day would be when Knox is super impressed with everything that I know how to do.
That's funny. So backstory on that. Knox is our 7-year-old. He's the ultimate middle child. And he somehow finds a way to constantly be disappointed with Soren as a dad.
Vocally.
In not like a tragic way, but in like a, I want to learn how to fish. And that's not even close to Soren's.
Fished.
Or, would you want to learn how to ski or snowboard, Knox? I think I'd rather learn how to surf first. And surfing is like way out of Soren's element. So it's like everything Knox is interested in or would think is really cool is not on Soren's list. And Soren
or if I buy something cool and I show everyone, Knox is like, yeah,
unimpressed.
I wish you would have gotten something else. If I pick something for dinner or if I make something, it doesn't matter what it is. He's on the opposite end. So, and he's the only other dark-skinned, dark-haired boy in the family, so I know where he gets it.
I think you're implying that I'm constant.
That was the underlying message, yes. If I can get Knox, that's one step closer to getting you.
Soren and I are very different, so you and Knox must be very different. Okay, what's your next question?
Whoa, now we're into the relationship category. What did you think when you first met me?
Let's see. So when we first met, it was at a smoothie shop that I worked at. And what I remember was the first time we met was there was a concert playing that night and it was a really busy, the whole smoothie place was full of people. Like, think of the most opposite of COVID friendly you can think of. Like, there's just so many people in there and I was trying to help serve people. And I remember you wearing I think a button-up shirt and then your necklace that had a buffalo nickel on it, and you were trying to help me by like passing back cups of people's garbage. So I thought it was really nice, and I thought your necklace was cool.
But I didn't ask you out that night, did I? No.
Just laying the groundwork. What did you think when you first met me?
So I was looking for all the dirty cups I could find so that I could go back and give them to you because I knew everyone at the smoothie shop, all the people who worked there. My friend was the accountant and I think manager there. And, but I didn't know you because this was the start of a new semester. So I was interested. And I remember thinking, she's wearing a jean jacket. Who wears jean jackets anymore? But it looks so good. So I thought this girl has her own thing about her that she probably has and is proud of, and so I was attracted to that.
I remember the jean jacket comment. Yeah, I always wore a jean jacket. I always have, always will, I guess. But yeah, fun.
Oh, please tell me the next question gets to tell the rest of that story.
Oh, please. What's your next question?
What was the rest of that story and how did it...
He's going rogue with the questions, people.
Okay, next question. What's your favorite memory of us?
I think going to Italy and some of the fun, just like day-to-day moments we had in Italy. Like, it was a fun experience and a fun trip, like once in a lifetime, but then it was fun because we both enjoyed all of it. Like, one time we were at the top of the, what's the mall? La Rinascente. And we ate at a restaurant and the chef brought out these like tiny raviolis for us to just try. And we had no idea what else to order on the menu. So we had just like taken our best shot. And then he brought us these tiny little raviolis and we were both like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. Why can't we order that for dinner? And everything else wasn't as good. But anyways, we both thought that was so fun and funny. So
on the same trip, this is
memories.
not part of my answer, but on the same trip, I remember really liking that no matter what we ate or where we did, you were always up for room service at night, no matter how late.
What?
You always wanted to see the room service menu. It's like built into you that, ooh, I'm an adult now. I can order room service.
Or they might have something delicious like dessert.
It's the second thing you go to. The first thing is we go check out the bedroom. The second thing is you look for the room service menu.
Must be the fact that I grew up going to hotels that didn't even have one. So, all right, what's your favorite memory with me?
We went camping with our friends Mike and Kelly once. And
In college.
I remember that was just very conflict-free the whole time. Somehow it worked out. You were a great sport. We slept in a tent. It was summertime. You hiked and got sweaty, and it was just pretty easygoing.
So early on when we dated and were married, Soren would always try to take me outside to do all kinds of things like that, and it never went well. So he's remembering that was a time it went well.
What I remember is thinking, why is this going well? I couldn't place why it was so conflict-free, but somehow you were going along, and it was really easy.
All
I
right.
must not have been a jerk.
Early marriage. All right, what's your next question?
What do you think is your biggest strength in this relationship?
My biggest strength? That's too hard of a question. I don't know. Do you know yours?
It feels like my strength is in my potential to add strength to this relationship.
I think, I think part of our relationship is like being parents and taking care of kids and taking care of dogs and cats and like our house and just so many things which come with having a family and like being this far in a relationship. So I think one of my strengths is just being able to balance and juggle a lot of things and pay attention to people's needs and kids' needs and how to kind of help everybody. So that like super mom thing. I think that does play into our relationship because I can figure out when I need to help make up for, whatever you aren't able to do or vice versa. All right. So
Next question.
all over the place. What do you got?
Would you like to be famous? In what way?
Good question. My kids would say I'm already famous because they can Google pictures of me on the internet, but it's totally, I think, all in your like perspective and things. So I think I would like to be well known and have a really big, broad impact. So I guess that's what I'd want to be famous for. So yeah, I guess so. But mostly because I think the more people know about what I'm doing or what we're doing, hopefully can add lots of good.
I have never wanted to be famous. Never crossed my mind.
All right.
Is there something that you've dreamt of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
Ooh. You can answer first.
I've dreamt of taking you skydiving.
Oh, gosh.
I haven't done it because you won't go skydiving.
Perfect. Yeah, no way.
I don't know the numbers enough. Maybe 1,000's doable. Maybe it's not. Oh, wait, no, we did that already. If she gets 1,000 views on this.
I will not go skydiving with you, no matter what.
Nice try, Derek.
I've got way too many brave things to do before I go skydiving.
I'm telling you, it feels like floating.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing I wanted to do for a long time that I've not
Dreamt of doing
Dreamt
for a
of
long
doing?
time.
done?
Can we ask the rest of these questions later on too, by the way, privately?
No.
Had to put that in
Only
there.
on the podcast. Going on a cruise, maybe? I think
Yes,
going on a
Disney cruise. Disney cruise with the kids where they're babysat the whole time and we can just lay there in the sun.
I think it's expensive, so that's one reason we haven't done it. And it takes a lot of coordinating and COVID. So, yeah, I would like to go on a cruise. Disney cruise with the kids would be really fun.
Next year.
Okay.
January. Okay. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be? Why? I was thinking about this yesterday.
Why were you thinking about that yesterday?
I don't know. That occurs to me sometimes.
That's good as the protector in our home. What would I save? I could save everything. I mean, like, in the safe, like we have all of our like documents that are essential for survival. That's probably pretty high on the list.
Yes, I was putting birth certificates away in the safe, and as I put them away, I thought, is this still the book that I would grab as the way out? And what I'm changing to is that the safe is fireproof, and it's in a concrete room. So I think everything in the safe is safe to say that it won't burn down.
Okay, so it's out.
So everything in the safe is out.
So I have a Gucci bag that you bought me in Italy. That was probably one of my like prized possessions because you bought it for me, and I didn't think you were gonna buy it for me, and it's really cool and nice. And so, I mean, if we're looking at like silly things, that'd be probably one thing. If we're thinking like, I don't know, pictures and like, I feel like you're asking a question about something fluffy. So,
well, it's something that I think could take some studying, because the first thing that comes to my mind is the gun my dad made that he gave to us.
yeah.
If there's any gun that I own that should not be lost, it's that one, and it's currently not in the safe, so that's why I thought about it.
But it is in a safe place, just so
Yes,
everybody
for
knows.
the internet, it is in a safe place. And this gun is a piece of artwork. It is not any kind of a contestable firearm that people would consider a
Your dad
weapon
is
of
a
doom.
gunsmith who works on gun stocks, like custom wood, beautiful gun stocks.
Carved, engraved.
It's like an heirloom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's currently not in the safe, and I should get that. And then what else was I thinking? I was thinking that and a coat for you.
A coat for me. That's really funny. Soren prides himself on it's like his personal responsibility to always carry an extra jacket for me whenever we travel, because I don't tend to think about jackets when we travel. So that's very nice.
We were at a friend's house for New Year's Eve, lighting fireworks outside, and you totally went outside and were happy to be out there watching the kids light the fireworks. Didn't have a coat, so I gave you my coat, and our friends went and got me a coat. And so it's just a regular thing.
All right, a couple more questions.
Okay. If you could see into the future, what's one thing you could see? You want to see? I'll help you. I'll get started.
Then
first.
you answer. Fine.
I want to see which of my kids I'm friends with, because I think there's some I might not be.
Okay, well then I would like to see you friends with all of them. How about that?
Okay. Oh, so this is I want to see. I want to see which kids I'm friends with, because it might help me right now.
To have better relationships with some of them. Yeah. I think as parents, you guys can probably relate. You get along, once you have multiple kids, you get along better with some of them than others naturally. And so then you have to work on those relationships. So that would be interesting. Okay. Another question.
Well, where's your answer?
I said I would like to see them all getting along with you. I would like to see them not like emotionally scarred from us as parents. I'd like proof that like me starting back to work, us having a business that's stressful, all those things totally worked out to create kids that are awesomely self-sufficient and ambitious. So,
all right, here's some good ones. Now that I'm actually reading the questions, I'm seeing some gold here. If you woke up tomorrow with no fear, what would you do first?
No fear? I can't imagine that.
I think tomorrow we should sit down on the yoga mat in the morning and just think about that question.
Soren's trying to plug that he's done yoga this week.
Plug. I'm on day 4.
So impressive, everyone.
Yoga with Adrian on YouTube.
Message Soren and ask him about all of his yoga tips so he can feel awesome.
I told our friends that I need to do it at home first before I go to a yoga studio, because I'm afraid of laughing out loud.
Because you feel silly.
It's silly. There's some silly things, but it's legit. Back pain is going away.
We'll see. All right. What's up?
If you could write a note to your younger self, what would you say in only 3 words? I know what it is.
What?
You're doing great.
Yeah, that's probably good. I was thinking something along the lines of like, don't be so hard on yourself, but that's more than 3 words, so that works. Or what's your 3 words?
Go find Kilee.
Sorry, everybody. So romantic.
Okay. What is one thing that makes you feel alive?
I think progress of any kind. I love feeling like I move the needle, and I hate feeling stuck. So it like doesn't even matter what it is here at work or at home. If I feel like, oh my goodness, like I just made progress, I just got something done, like there's just no better feeling than feeling like you moved forward. So I really like checking things off, and yeah. So all right, let's have this be our last question. What's yours? What makes you feel alive?
I'm moving outdoors.
Yeah, I think that's true. Which you're going to get to go do pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Heading to Montana. So, all right. Do you have anything? Let me see if there's one quick last thing we could say.
I really want to finish these questions with you later.
We might have to do another episode if people are interested. But
wow, we skipped the share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. We missed that one.
Last question.
You're asking the first one?
Yeah, I'm going to ask the final question.
Okay.
So, if you could pick something in your life, what has been the biggest blessing in disguise?
I was going to ask that to you, but I was going to rephrase it by saying, why have I been the biggest blessing in disguise for you?
Hilarious. Biggest blessing in disguise. What do you think?
Oh, man. In disguise?
I would say I'll answer first and let you think about it. Mine would be that I wasn't able to get a job out of college, and that's what forced me to start being creative and get creative again, and then started me on creating an Etsy shop and really finding my way back to having a career and a life that's creative and interesting and fun and all the things. I was headed down a track of nutrition, which I think I would have loved, but that being able to not find a job after college and then being kind of sent on a different direction is what has got us here. So that was a huge blessing. But at the time, I was so angry and so depressed. Hence my first answer, which was I would redo that year in Seattle. So I think after that first year is when I really figured out how to create something in Etsy and have something that builds in me again. So,
well, I was going to say all of the struggles and difficulty that you've felt in being married to me have somehow turned you into you. So you're so much better now than ever before. So it's a huge, how did this turn out so amazing?
Learn some fun things about each other. Next time, maybe we'll get just a few more of these questions. We've got to get through the rest of them. All right. Thanks for being on the podcast today, Soren. It's fun to get to know each other better. Thanks for interviewing me. And I think this could be a fun date night activity for us to finish these questions, or to have our listeners finish them, or do them, with themselves, with their spouse or their boyfriend and girlfriend. So if you guys are interested in the questions, I will leave the link to where I found them. I just got them off a great suggestion site, and you guys can have a good time getting to know each other better this next couple weeks. So, all right, everybody. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening today to With Kilee Nichols. I hope that today you felt empowered to take one more step towards living the best version of you. Tune in next week for another episode, and in the meantime, you can find us elsewhere on the internet. You can find me on Instagram at Kilee Nichols and at Nickel and Suede. You can also find us at nickelandswade.com. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.